In Marissa Lane's home, the shadows aren't just on the walls. What does it want? In Marissa Lane's home, the shadows weren't just on the walls. They were watching, learning, and waiting. Marissa Lane, a TikTok user, had long been fascinated by paranormal activity. She lived with her husband, Derek, in a suburban home that looked ordinary during the day. But at night, the house seemed to transform into something else entirely. The walls appeared to breathe, shadows stretched unnaturally, and silence carried an ominous undertone. In time, Marissa installed security cameras throughout the home, hoping to capture something she couldn't explain. On a particularly warm August night, around 4 a.m., the cameras captured something chilling. The hallway light outside their bedroom went out in an instant. Marissa, a light sleeper, stirred awake, feeling a cold draft with no natural source. The air pressed against her bones like liquid ice, curling around her chest as if invisible fingers were tightening their grip. Then a shadow appeared. At first, it was a subtle shift, a dark smear against the wall. But it moved, sliding along the hallway like smoke, elongated and liquid in shape. Its movements were deliberate, intelligent. It paused, forming a silhouette that was vaguely human. It warped its limbs impossibly long, its head tilting slightly, as if observing. Marissa's breath caught in her throat as she watched the shape move closer, creeping along the corridor that led directly to their bedroom door. Even the cameras faltered. Static flickered across the screen, briefly obscuring the figure, but it continued forward as if unaffected. Marissa realized she could feel the entity before she even saw it, the pressure in the air, a subtle vibration in the floorboards, and a whisper that felt more like a heartbeat than a sound. Derek slept soundly beside her, oblivious, while Marissa could not look away. The shadow's movements were deliberate and rhythmic, almost hypnotic. It pressed itself against the wall at grotesque angles, then resumed its glide. Something about the way it moved suggested thought-learning, watching, calculating. It was not mindless. It was aware. Unable to resist, Marissa whispered to the camera, as though addressing the entity itself. "Who are you?" The shadow froze for a heartbeat. The air thickened around her. Then the camera captured the impossible two faint, glowing eyes. Not bright like light, but dull pinpoints filled with a cold, unknowable intelligence, staring directly at her. As the night dragged on, the shadow retreated, only to reappear near the staircase. Its form rippled and folded in on itself, stretching again. The house responded in kind. Doors rattled softly, floorboards creaked under unseen weight, and the wind moaned through cracks in the walls. Marissa felt it was testing her, taunting her, daring her to react. Over the following nights, the activity escalated. Shadows flickered across walls at set intervals. Whispers echoed faintly through hallways, and objects shifted out of place. Books would fall in the same precise way, as if pointing to a hidden meaning. One morning, Marissa found thin, deliberate scratches carved into the hallway walls overnight. The presence was intelligent, patient, and disturbingly playful. Marissa began documenting not only visuals, but also audio, faint whispers, footsteps circling the bedroom at random intervals, and a soft, rhythmic tapping that resonated through the floorboards like a pulse. Each sound felt purposeful, as though the shadow was speaking its own language. Determined to confront it, Marissa started leaving her bedroom door open at night. She stood silently, waiting to observe its movements. But the shadow followed rules she couldn't comprehend. It never crossed thresholds without hesitation, never revealed its full form in the light. It was partial, elusive, just a fragment of something far larger and far more terrifying. The most disturbing night came when she awoke to find Derek stirring, muttering in a voice that wasn't his own. It was low, guttural, and eerily similar to the shadow's whispers. He denied speaking when she asked, but the camera proved otherwise. His lips moved, yet the sound was distorted, as if another presence had spoken through him. Their home became a labyrinth of fear. Every room seemed tainted. The shadow would vanish when approached, but always left traces of its presence. An object moved slightly out of place, fleeting reflections in mirrors, or whispers in Marissa's own voice, repeating unintelligible phrases. She grew obsessed with tracking its behavior, desperate to find a pattern, but the house refused to yield its secrets. Even now, Marissa cannot sleep in peace. The shadow lingers, perhaps aware that she is still watching, still trying to understand it. She continues uploading her videos, hoping someone might recognize the phenomenon, explain it, or admit to having faced the same darkness. But the question remains, what is it? What does it want? And more terrifyingly, is it waiting for the moment she finally lets her guard down?